Hi. Sorry about that. Um, Denise, can you let me know if you hear me, love? Oh. Okay, so sorry that we were a little bit tardy. It wanted us to use Google Chrome, and it took us a little bit to figure that out. So I apologize. So, bam, thank you, Denise. Um, I just wanted to talk about the upcoming 2022 year with you guys. The guides have really just been giving me like a very steady image of specifically the first 6 months. And then the latter 6 months is a little bit different. Um, oh, I miss you too. Um, and so, really, I mean, I'm going to say it, it's going to be short, but there's a lot of work. So it's simplistic, but we all really need to use it a lot. So they really want you to be in flow. Like planning certain things is really great. And of course, for those that have to work like 9 to 5s and you have children to pick up, drop off, and activities to do after school and all that stuff, it really like it makes things a little bit like where you have to like plan it out more. But in those spaces where you have flexibility, take it. Like, don't just say yes, days ahead of time to things all the time. Like some things, again, you need to plan, but like feel it. Like, do I want to go into that? Like, does that feel good to me? Like when I sit back and I think about it, is that what feels like the thing I should be doing? Or should I just stay at home with my family? Or should I go read a book instead? Or actually, I really wanted, to go to the gym. Like, really follow. There's so many blessings in following your intuition because your intuition is trying to get you to go certain ways. A piece of intuition is not just having like this downloaded knowing, because we have as a society kind of gotten rid of that because everything is so structured. So you need to like go into yourself for a little bit and go, oh, do I really want to meet with my friends for brunch? And then like really just make a decision based on how you feel as opposed to um what you said you were going to do. And I know it might make you look a little flaky sometimes, but we have to start getting in tune with who we are on the inside and where our guides are trying to get us, because there's so much opportunity in where they're trying to get us to go, and there's so many lessons that they'd like us to learn where they're trying to get us to go. So then there's like this huge break at around late June, early July. And that huge break comes from like, did you follow your intuition? Have you been going with the flow as much as you possibly can? Where do we compromise or stay really structured, and where do we not? But at the same time, uh, just trying to do it as much as possible, like getting that habit down, right? Or doing it enough to create a habit. Once like late June, early July hits, like there's just going to be this explosion of manifesting. And the manifesting is going to occur based on how you feel. So the better you feel and the more moves you're making based off of how you feel and your intuition, then no, wait, let me rephrase that. Whatever it is that you feel will be manifested, but at a faster rate, faster than it's ever been manifested before. So if it's good, you're getting good. If it's dense or heavy or negative or whatever you'd like to call that, then it's going in that direction. But it's just going to be this steady stream, this steady trickle. So really wiring yourself over the next 6 months to go with the flow, be honest with how you feel, and follow what you feel, that's going to get you ready for this transition into a faster manifestation. I think, like, literally, that's why I said it didn't take long. That is the gist of it. And so what I would say, um, is if you have, like, after hearing that, if you have had, like, a specific scenario that you'd like to go into where you want me to clarify a little bit more, um, the only thing I'd like to add to that is we have to stop being scared of hurting people's feelings. And as people, we have to be more understanding that life happens, that feelings happen, and that you might feel great the day before. And the next day, you just feel like you really need to do some work on you, or that you really want to read. And it's of no disrespect to anything that you have possibly planned with someone else. But so maybe come through with, hey, tomorrow, I don't think today's going to work. This is happening, or this is going on, and you know what, you don't actually have to explain. But I think when people are first starting out saying, like, no, or can we reschedule, I think we kind of naturally feel like an explanation is needed. So this year is about getting in tuned with you and doing what it is you need to do for you, irregardless of others. And our society would call that selfish, but really the reason we're so far off track is because we have been so selfless that we're always willing to put ourselves on the back burner to take care of others, even when it doesn't feel good. Nice, Keisha. How does it feel going with the flow? Do you like it better? Oh, Denise, great question. So that can happen in a multitude of ways. To habitually practice it so that you can hear it easier, you can learn from your son. He loves to meditate. Meditate and um, get quiet. That way you can ask for your inner being, ask for your higher self. Um, or you know who your guides are, Denise. Ask for your guides. Ask them to, and you may not hear it, but you may start seeing things. So let's say you ask them to help you. Then the next day, your mom goes, "Oh, I need you to do this for me." Hi, God, mommy. I need you to do this for me. And you go, "Sorry, mom. Like, I already have a lot on my plate. I really can't. Maybe that's something I can do for you tomorrow if I have time." And that is going that might trigger her, but the what you learn and the self-love that you've given to you will multiply magnificently, because we have to start reading ourselves. Um, but let's say that instead, because it's like, it's my mom, I have to say yes. So you go and you do whatever she asks, and then it just doesn't feel good. Maybe you get a flat tire. Maybe you end up running behind for the next thing you're supposed to do because it took longer than you thought it would. And then you feel that. So maybe the guides don't show you, like, in an easy way. Maybe the guides allow you to experience it for yourselves. That way you can go, you know what happened? I didn't flow with this. And so it got a little rocky. Next time, pay it, like, go with what feels good to me in that moment. Um, So we went over meditating. We went over basically trial and error. We can call it trial and error, right? Um, and then the other thing too is, like, let's say you have a day and things just aren't going how you'd like it to go, and you find yourself getting frustrated. Shut it down. Like, don't keep multiplying that frustration. Let's say you left the house early, you forgot to bring your lunch, you're driving home, you're hungry, and, like, just that feeling from running late, that, like, kind of chaotic feeling you get, well, some people get, um, it's just stuck with you and it just doesn't feel good. And you were supposed to like make enchiladas for the family. Man, order pizza, pick it up, go home, throw in a movie. Like let everything settle. Allow yourself to just be instead of, you know, I'm a mom, or I said I would cook, or I said I would help. It's great. And if you're naturally a helper, the people around you, if you have to say no sometimes, if they don't understand, like that has nothing to do with you. But life has felt chaotic, or life has felt like, plate overfull or cup overfloweth, in not in the biblical good way. But like where you just don't have anything else to hold and you have to start listening to yourself. And here's another great way of knowing that your cup is full. You have anxiety, you don't feel rested, you don't feel like um you can time manage, you don't feel organized, you don't feel like you. That is your being in a physical form saying, you got to give me a break. You have to give me a break. We need to sit down. We need to have less on our plate. Let me know, Denise, if that answered it, or if you wanted something more specific for what you had in mind. And Keisha, that's awesome. I agree 100%. When you go with the flow, it just feels so amazing, and it also gives you so much space to try something new or turn left down a dirt road that you had never seen before or whatever. Does anybody else have any questions? I hope you guys are having an amazing 2022 so far. And I know 2 people joined on after I kind of went over the summary, so I'm just gonna go over the summary of what the guides were telling me, and they kind of broke it up into 2 parts. One lasts until, um, late June, early July, and that one is just really going with the flow, um, and allowing yourself a space to say no, allowing yourself a space to feel what it is you would like to do, and maybe try not to do as much planning. Try not to make everything so solid. But even if you do, finding a way to say, today really isn't working for me. And building that to make that a habit as we get into late June, early July is really going to help you, because like this plane of existence, the manifesting that's going to happen in the latter part of the year is going to be kind of on like turbo speed. And so if you're going in a negative direction, it's going to be multiplied very quickly. And if it's going in a positive direction, it's going to be multiplied very quickly. And one of the tools that they'd really like you to have is just you being able to go with the flow and listen to your intuition. You know what? It's really less about going with the flow, but it's listening to your intuition about what it is you really want to be doing, as opposed to doing what you think ought to be done because society says so, or your mom says so, or you think that's what equates to being a good human or a good mom or a good sister, or so forth. Okay, so perfect. Thank you, Denise. Any other questions? I can see Keisha is on here, and I can see that my godmommy is on here. Do either of you happen to have questions? Thank you guys all for joining me. This is always so much fun. It makes me giddy. I'll probably be up later than I really want to because it gives me a high. No? Are there any topics that anybody would like me to clarify or go deeper into? And if not, that's perfectly fine. A short session is okay too. Thank you, Keisha. Hi, Judy. Diana, absolutely. Hi, Nona. Okay, let's see here. How do I know if I'm on the right track of going through my positive journey? It's coming all the way back to feel. And just to be clear, you know, it's not about every single moment being this positive ray of light. It's more about acknowledging like, hey, something feels off. What do I think that is there a way for me to auto correct this? Like maybe I need to take a 10-minute break and meditate or just sit down. Maybe I need to go buy my favorite cookie from Crumble because they are amazing and not vegan, but amazing. And give yourself this break and then go back in and have a different mindset. That way, that energy can change. So I would always say, just like follow the feel, follow the energy. And if it's not going, like if you woke up that morning and you're like, you're in a good headspace and you're rocking and something kind of hits you out of the blue, that's not necessarily a gauge. That's more the universe going, there's a lesson here that we would like for you to start learning. That's not necessarily like, but I've been positive all day and then I got hit with this. That's only a moment. So allow that to just pass by taking a break. But if you've had like a couple days where like depression has hit real hard, or just like you don't feel like getting out of bed, or just I don't know, you're just not having good luck. You get grumpy people at the grocery store, and then that's a time to sit in yourself and be. Maybe you need to just sit and be, but it'll always be about the feel. The way you feel is going to direct what path and how you can move through it. If you want to give me a specific example, Nona, then let me know. And also know that when you're first starting to come into consciousness or enlightenment about how you feel, you also want to ask yourself, like really double check in with yourself that this is, I'm trying to think of an example. Okay, I used to think that running late was like the end of the world, and I'd get this like angst about me, and I'd be driving and I'm like going into chaos, like not anxiety attack, not panic attack, not like that, but just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm late, and oh, I hate having to even apologize about being late and whatever. Once I just let that feeling go and just realize like it's life. Things happen. Sometimes you run late, and then like that feeling can dissipate, and then there's really just no feeling associated at all with running late. It's just, I'm getting to you. I know I said 6. It looks like it's gonna be 6:10, and it's just more of a fact. So what you're feeding, ask yourself, especially if it is a negative feeling, like, is it really worth that negative feeling? Like in the grand scheme of life, right? Like I'm safe, I'm healthy, I'm able to afford to have a roof over my head and a car. If you live in a place where you need a car, you know, then this is not a big problem. Everybody's late sometimes. Like allow yourself to talk through it. That way you can really kind of decipher like what is a negative and what is a positive. Okay, so Dianita, you're saying, so Judy's question is about a relationship she doesn't know if it is the correct path for her to be on. So she's asking if the current relationship she is in is the correct path to be on. Welcome, Nona. Okay, perfect. Give me just a moment. Thank you for your question, Judy. Mm. Judy, your guides are really saucy. They literally said, very bluntly, um, if you have to ask that question, then no. So my assumption is that again, if you go back into here's where relationships kind of get us caught up is that at the beginning we're very excited and we push away the red flags and then we have a relationship and they show up as they told you who they would be for a certain amount of time and then as time goes on they start to show you who they really are and then at some point you either ask, is this a relationship I should be in? Or you finally end it. And then as you're processing the relationship, you go back to um the initial meeting or the initial like getting to know you period of time and you acknowledge all the red flags that you were willing to ignore the first time around. Um and they're showing me that that's kind of the path that the cycle that you kind of are, I guess, are going through. They also want you because it looks like you've had another relationship that ended up being very similar to this relationship that you are in now. And that if you can process through it once it is over, should you choose, because they can't make you do anything, right? Like you still have free will. But once it's over, because I mean, there is an end time, whether you choose it to be now or not. Like there is a breakup at some point. Um, that you process long enough so that you don't end up in the exact same kind of relationship. Because again, it's all about energy. So if you haven't like healed yourself after a relationship that you've been in 9 times out of 10, uh no, no, correction, 10 times out of 10 you're getting back into something that is super duper similar as what you just got out of, because what happened was you didn't learn what you were supposed to learn from it. And Judy, let me know if you want me uh, to go in any different direction. I mean, they basically just put it all in a little bubble, so I think that's it. But just in case it's not, like, please feel free to ask me another question if you want it to be more specific. So the only guide that popped up so far for Judy was a yellow aura. And I'm so bad at this. I always forget. What's yellow?
I think it's sacral chakra.
So here?
No.
No. Here.
Yeah, like intuition.
Oh. Okay. So a yellow orb means it's your sacral chakra. And that's dealing with like your intuition, which means like usually who you're paired with, if it's not like a loved one that has passed away, usually whatever color orb it is, usually um they're trying to show you something concerning whether it's your throat chakra or your root chakra, right? So yours is your sacral, your intuition. So it's already showing that you have a ton of intuition, but it seems you're kind of easily swayed by what people say. And they really want you to dig into your intuition more. Um, because I'm kind of balancing so much here, that's the only guide that I see for you at this time. Because there's a lot of people on, so I have different energies that are in here. But you definitely have, I mean, you have more than one guide, but that's the one that's coming through at this time. Yes. Thank you, Dianita. And thank you, Judy. I really appreciate your question. Denise, you said, who are my spirit guides? What is something they would like me to know? Okay, well, you already know your Tio Arturo is one of your spirit guides. Um, but you have, well, that I can see right now, and I think if I remember correctly, when I did a reading with you, the first one by yourself, it was mostly Arturo speaking. And at that time, I believe, again, if I remember correctly, there was one orb, but now you're up to three. But the more that I like read even for myself, the more that it expands and the more guides that come in are spirit animals. So, oh, for Richie, I apologize.
That's what the R is.
Huh?
I guess that's what the R is for.
Oh, okay. Apologies. Okay, let me go in for Richie. Thank you for correcting that. Hmm. Richie actually has a lot, and it's not coming in fully clear right now, but there are two people in his life that have passed away. One he knew, one he never met, but that has always been there for him. Um, it feels like that person passed away like really close to when he was born. So he has like this divine connection with, it's a masculine energy, but I can only see an outline of him. I can't see features yet. Um, but he has a lot of orbs. Like he has a lot of spirit guides. What's that? He also has a spirit animal, but I apologize. I don't even know what the animal is. If Richie's open though, like I can do a session with him that way I can see it more clearly. And I want to figure out what that animal is. So he has two people that have passed away that like were on this physical plane, and he has a spirit animal, and then I can't even count the number of orbs that he has. But that also deals a lot with kind of how he's made it this far, because he's always been very divinely guided. Oh, I don't want to mispronounce that. Ohenaman and Tribe asks, how do I find, sorry if I butchered that. How do I find my spirit guides? Um, so like the person who taught me would say that this practice is available to anybody. And she showed me through shamanic journeying. And I use the word shamanic very loosely. People just they understand that word because it's been used, but it's been used wrong quite a bit. So I am not a shaman. I can just shamanic journey is Kwaku. I hope I pronounced that right. It's very nice to meet you, and thank you for your question. Um, and so she was able to take me through like a journey process. Um, there are a couple people on YouTube that will walk you through how to shamanic journey. Some people are able to do that just through YouTube. I have never taught anybody, and I don't even pretend to be a teacher in this. I still have a lot to learn. But the one thing that uh, the amazing woman who taught me how to do it, the first thing she did was she cleared my chakras on the light side and on the dark side. So I would probably look up a YouTube video to clear your chakras and then go through a guided tutorial on how to shamanic journey. And maybe that is your way to learn. Some people can reach it through meditation, those that are super connected with themselves, which allows you to then be, more easily accessible into other parallels. Yeah, those are the only ways that I know at this time. Um, Thank you, Denise. um, so let me know if I answered that well enough for you. I would definitely go and just really play around with it like that. And that'd be just something great for 2022 for you. Like that'd just be wonderful. Play around with it and see what happens. Okay, I'm going back. I'm making sure that I've answered everything. Oh, Denise, so you asked who are my spirit guides, and I think the R was for Richie. Hi, Angelica. And then after that, you said, what is something they would like me to know? Was that for you or was that for Richie also? Because I'm pretty sure I did not answer that question. I guess I kind of did. Well, no, but I mean, he's divinely guided. That was just a piece of information. Okay, I think I'm all caught up with everybody. Okay, for both. That's okay. So Arturo would like Denise to know that it's a two-parter. One, you're doing very good at staying positive where you're at in a housing situation, but that you have a lot of blessings that are being blocked because you don't have your space for you and your family. Richie. Okay. Richie, first and foremost, being in this physical body, I want to apologize for what I'm about to say. Um, just because this is whatever, kind of personal, but I'm going to make it very not too personal. um, there's some You need to be more honest with Denise about how you feel concerning, hold on, I'm thinking on how to say it. Okay, so Denise, you can call me later, or Richie, you can call me later. So how I'm going to say it while we're on a live is, there's something that's been like bothering you. It's kind of been on the tip of your tongue, Richie, but you keep holding it back. But it's something that you've kind of said it, but in a very roundabout way. And Denise did not pick up on it. So you need to just be honest with her about how you feel. And that's all I'm going to say live, just so that way I don't want to put your business all the way out there on the street. The street being YouTube Live. Okay, what are some tips you can give when first learning how to journey? That's great. Be open. Be ready to see anything. It doesn't have to make sense. A landscape will be created that may not fit true to this parallel. And by landscape, I mean the environment that's created while you're journeying and what you can see. It doesn't have to make sense. And it only has to be true for you. The other thing would be definitely clear your chakras. That'll make it easier. And if it's anything other than journeying, make sure you do your research. Like if you look up something like how to speak to my spirit guides and they talk to you on something other than like a shamanic journey session, make sure, like, look it up, or if you know like someone else that's kind of in this line of work, make sure that it's a safe space. Because the great thing about shamanic journeying is you're safe in it. There's no way to get sucked into density. And some other ways with people that have been doing this longer, they're willing to go into other, like, different types of parallels to meet their guides, but knowing that density can kind of take over. So great question. And that was Kwaku. And yes, I have done many readings with people that I haven't met, and depending upon your comfortability level, we can Zoom, we can FaceTime, or we can just have a phone conversation if you don't like being in front of a camera. But I would be able to, I'd be able to either way. It is much easier when it's one-on-one, in that I can really explore your guides without other stuff coming in. Can't you tell me anything? What exactly do you mean by that? Like, are you saying, can your guides communicate anything to you? I'm going to assume that's what you meant. And the answer is a little yes and no. They will tell you what you are ready to hear. slash they will tell you what is in your best interest at that moment. Oh, yes, absolutely. So she asked, "Would you be able to tell me anything my guides would try to communicate to me?" Yes, absolutely. Especially if it's something that they're already trying to tell you through different life lessons and obstacles or arrows that they've been trying to already point to you. Yes, they would be able to.
I think
Um,
he's asking, can you tell me what they're trying to tell
oh, I apologize. Are you asking me to tell you right now, or were you asking me generically? Thank you, babe.
me?
Hmm. Okay, yours. Okay. Uh, mhm. Okay, so you definitely have a lot there. um, they're showing me that a lot of the easiest way to sum it up is that it feels very complicated. um, how do I even want to start that? Okay, so they're trying to get you to put yourself in positions to trust yourself more, for you to make decisions on your own, as opposed to just kind of going along with what other people would like to do. Um, in general, like they're giving me this feeling of like you feeling very anxious quite often, or maybe anxious isn't the best word, but unsure. You just feel really unsure of yourself, but it's because you think that you should know what you're going to do and know what you're going to be and be there already. And that's the truth that you're telling yourself, but that's not your truth, if that makes sense. Like nobody ever figures out who they are and then it stays the same. It's just you grow and you flow and you learn something new, so you become something else. You transition, you know. You're just putting a lot of pressure on yourself right now that doesn't really need to be there. And they're showing me that like you're looking for things, but maybe like it looks like it's rooted in like family expectations maybe, so you have like that unsuredness and that pressure kind of stems from how they make you feel. Yeah, and they would really like for you to thin out your social media. You have way too much input, and a lot of it is it's not good for you. It makes you challenge what you really want. They want me to say that in a different way. Hold on. Okay, no, I said it properly, but what they were saying is it was once you really you know what? I think that you're going to be able to I really do think that you are going to be able to journey because they're ready. Like they're ready to be able to communicate with you. Like they have a lot that they would like to unpack with you. So I would definitely um start doing the work. Like just start exploring with it, have fun with it. No pressure, just if that's where you feel like you should be headed, then you should I wouldn't waste any time in all honesty. Like they have a lot that they can give you. A lot. Okay. So first and foremost, thank you. Thank you all for showing up. Like it's always a blessing. Thank you for your time and your energy and your support. I'm very appreciative. Um, if anyone would like a one-on-one journey session, please feel free to reach out to me. I will put my phone number and email address. Or actually, Nicole, can you put
the
me?
email.
Okay. She's gonna upload the email address. Feel free to email me if you would like a session. Since you showed up today, if you would just let me know that you were on the live, then I would do an hour for 65. Normally my rate is 88 for 1 hour and 111 for an hour and a half. But also like the gifts are there, they are within you. And unfortunately, like I'm not a teacher at this time. I still have so much learning to do, but there are great instruments out there. Please, 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 like go see if you can bring your intuitiveness, your guides, just love, also being able to feel what it feels like on a different plane of existence because it's beautiful and it is encouraging. And even when they tell you something that's hard, they make it feel so easy. They make it feel like you just do it and then it's done. And it really helps to motivate you to to make changes much faster than you would without them. Um, so I appreciate you guys and I hope you have a fantastic evening. For anybody that's friends or family, um, if you have any questions from anything that we talked about today, please don't hesitate. And for the new people that I haven't met, you have my email address. If you also have questions or would like to set up a journey session, please feel free. I would love to meet you and your guides. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you again and blessings. Bye.